officially got to my spot, made me a couple peanut butter and honey sandwiches. And I guess we're gonna head in. We got about, it'll be daylight before we get set up, so that's fine. Never been in here before. I just know where I want to go. And I came in from the other way. So I've never seen this timber. I'm literally just taking Onyx and pointing me the right direction and trying to go. The mid-story's not, it's thick, but it ain't terrible yet. Well, we're finally situated up here in a tree. Probably been situated for 30 minutes or so. It was after daylight before we got set, but it's just the nature of the beast trying to get in here this deep. Not knowing where it was going, all that. Kind of probably went about as good as I could have expected it to. But here the ducks behind us on this big pond. The idea here, these deer, I found them, a handful of deer bedding up against the water when I was here running around some weeks ago. And it's kind of what I'm set up on, is these deer to cruise the edge of that water. The wind, it'd be perfect if I could get the wind to blow out into the water, but we're on the south side, so that's gonna be hard to do this time of year. So I'm just kind of having to play it, and wind's just blowing over a bunch of good dirt, a bunch of good bedding and stuff, but it's just the nature of it. Gotta get in here at this time of year, so you'll notice these, the edge of the swamp here's got a bunch of that tall grass, swampy grass, and a bunch of fell over trees. And this whole place is bedding. The whole place. It's just the whole place is just a big, thick bed. So, it's not like you can get downwind of the bedding. Because sure, I'm downwind of some bedding. I'm upwind of some bedding. It's just a big, thick mess in here. We just dove off in it, and I'm using that water to try to get them in bow range. So that's the long and short of it. So it is 12:30. Haven't checked in with you guys much today. Kind of keeping my hands in my pockets. Been cold, but not a whole lot to talk about either. Seen the doe at about 11, buttonhead at about 11:30. And that's the only deers we've seen all day. So had the ducks to keep me company. So it's really hard to do an all-day sit when you're not seeing a lot. But the situation I run into is these areas are so demanding to get into. If I come out, it'll take me a solid hour, maybe an hour and a half probably, to get out of here. Update. The movement has not picked up. Had the one little small buck come cruising through, and he was coming down through here like he's going to do it perfect, but he got right there at about 30 yards and almost got nervous and then walked around us. We could have killed him, I'm pretty sure, right there. Or right there, but he wasn't a shooting kind. But the action's slow. These all-day sits are kind of a grind, but gotta be present to win. We're trying to be present. That's all she wrote. One more glimpse of a doe down from us here, and that was it. So, a buttonhead, 2 does, and a dink is all we saw today. And we've been riding this tree since daylight, so pretty slow. But camera started popping right about dark, and it seems as if we would have been about anywhere else. We would have been in the chips, but that's the only bit of encouragement we have after today's sit is seems to have been happening everywhere except where we were. So maybe tomorrow. But for now, we got to get this circus out of this tree and start that absolute nightmare of it all out of this thick mess. So let's get started. See y'all tomorrow. Welcome to November the 2nd. We are all buttoned up, got the bike off the back, and it looks like a e-bike convention at the gate this morning. It's 30 degrees, I think. It's supposed to get down to 23 at daylight, so we'll see about all that. We got hot hands and stuff galore, so we gonna, well, I reckon we finna make like a tree and leaf out of here. Situated. Hope I don't freeze to death because I sweated like crazy on the way in here. But we are in a different spot. Same situation, just a bunch of thick woods pushed away back up against what is a bigger body of water, more of a lake. I've got a camera right up here on a creek bed. Like I said, this is just a big, thick block of woods. Deer could bed anywhere. Guess it was a squirrel. But running a little bit late. Was really doing good this morning. Got to the parking lot and it was like a doggone. Looks like they were running a Talladega out of that place. There was trucks come rolling in with trailers full of e-bikes. Literally, trailers full. And I guess the old turkey hunter in me still just kind of, I don't want people to watch which way I go. So I was kind of dragging my feet, trying to let them guys get out of there. So then I could make my exit and kind of go which way I wanted to go. Deer coming. All right, let's try that again. Good morning. We're up here. We got situated. Already seen a few deer. Jumped a deer as soon as we got to walking, and then I jumped one right here up under the tree. Didn't cause too big of a ruckus, and so maybe we're okay. Obviously, we already got some deer coming past us, but welcome to November the 2nd. I'm already going to give you an update because my wheels are turning here. I've seen the 3 deer that came by. I think it was 3 that came by early as soon as I got the camera set up, and then they ran back by for some reason, tails up. And then shortly thereafter, I was digging around because I'm concerned that the creek bed that these deer like to walk is up here about 30 yards or so in front of me, but I can't shoot it. I thought they would walk the creek bed around and come up under me right here because the creek bed bends, but it looks like they're hopping out of the creek bed right up there about 30, between 30 and 35. All that being said, I can come down the tree about 10 feet or 6 feet or so, and I can shoot that creek bed out there about 32. So I was debating whether to essentially pack this stuff up where I'm at and move straight down the tree. While I was doing that, I heard something, and there was a doe and a young one right on the edge of the water on the other side of me. So I've got deer on that side of me and deer on this side of me. I don't know. I'm really concerned that these deer in the creek bed on the front of me are not gonna come here to give me a shot. Shooting opportunities out of this tree are less than stellar, to say the least. That's the tree we sat from daylight till dark yesterday. 9:30 this morning. He's standing up under the tree over there. You have to think it's an access issue, like. I don't know. That's frustrating. Still sitting in the same spot, haven't shifted. Thing is, my wind is right here. And so, a lot of the deer will come from this direction. So the further in there I push, the more of that ground my scent is gonna cover. So that's why I tried to pull this way, so that my scent right now is basically running right down the water's edge. So if a deer's right on the water, he's still gonna catch my wind, but if they're off the water just a little bit, we'll be okay. Which is why I chose to sit here. So flurry of deer right after daylight. We ain't seen nothing since. I feel like I just need to stay on. This needs to be the days that you stay in here. So that's what I'm going to do. I do believe we're fixing to enjoy. That's peanut butter and honey, or what's left of it. It's been abused a little bit. Looks like one of them women on First 48, unfortunately, I was whooped up on. They're trying to find the man that done it to her on First 48, but it always takes them to the 47th and a half hour to find him. Same story every time. gotta be right in front of my camera. It's up here about 50, 60, but I can't get there because of the wind. That's who I was just looking at. God, he's a giant 8-pointer. Giant. Sunset right there. Get you some of that, huh? Deer, no deer's hard to be mad, ain't it? Second all-day sit in a row. Well, only 2 days we've been here. 2.5 days. So anyways, the 2 full days we've been here, we've sat all day. And today, we laid eyes on a absolute slammer of an 8-pointer. I know you didn't get to see him, or you may have seen some movement through the leaves or something, but he's a big one, I can promise you. But he rounded those does that we had all around us here up. He rounded them up and went off the other way with them. So on the day, I don't know how many deer we ended up seeing. I know it was like 5 early, and deer started trickling back in, and I know we had 4 or 5 around us at one time there. Then him, then that 8-pointer right there. If he don't know how lucky he is. If I didn't have a freezer full of Kentucky 8-pointer and have that under my belt and had just seen an absolute slammer, he would have probably toted an iron wheel out of here, but he didn't.
Hey, we appreciate you guys joining us for this video. If you like this one, you'll probably like the next one. I'll leave it up here in the corner. Don't forget to subscribe and follow along with us, or leave our social media links down in the description below. That's also where you'll be able to find links on the turkey calls we use and the apparel we wear and that kind of stuff. So you can find that in that little drop down description below. And as always, we sure appreciate you guys following along.